Yo, what's up, my guys, my warriors, my kings, my ultra instincts, my super saiyans, my Shishuis, my Itachis, my Madras, my Trunks, my Gohans, my Gotenks, you feel me, my Bulls, my Jirens, everybody, man, all y'all, my Bakis, you feel my Demon Slayers, what's up, man? What's up with y'all, man? My Nine Tails, all my Jajirikis out there. My Ascended Masters, too, you know what I'm saying? What's up with y'all, man? I appreciate everybody that's been supporting me thus far. I really do. I'm deeply honored. You guys inspire me, y'all selves. You feel me? Y'all, if y'all didn't know that, you're fucking powerful. You're inspirational. I know I get that myself, and I deeply appreciate that. I'm honored, and I just want to let you guys know y'all help as well. Some of you guys have powerful messages y'all send me. You know what I'm saying? Some of you guys probably have powerful messages you put out there into the world. You know what I'm saying? And some of you guys probably are holding that shit back. Some of you guys probably don't even know. You know, tap into your power. Go within. You can inspire the world through anything. You can inspire the world through nonverbal communication. You can inspire the world through communication, one-on-one. Appreciate the answers. You can inspire the world through art. You can inspire the world through books. You can inspire the world through just your facial expressions and just your actions. You don't even have to speak on camera. You can inspire the world through your energy, just through your aura, how you carry yourself. You can inspire the world through, speaking out in the community. You don't even have to record yourself. Just help people in real life. You can inspire the world through helping and giving back to the community and just, being positive. You can inspire the world just by even loving the planet cosmically, loving onto the planet, nurturing the planet. I'm saying she's alive. She sees you. She appreciates you. So I open up this conversation with cosmic love, peace, inner strength, value your inner strength over lustful desires, abundance, gratitude. A moment of relapsing, a moment of pleasure, a moment of wanting to use a female for her body, a moment just to get your rocks off. It's not worth a lifetime of greatness, a lifetime of legendary repeated actions, a lifetime of a legendary mindset, a lifetime of living in your natural state. It's not worth it at all for just giving in to how you feel in the moment and knowing from consistently learning or attempting to learn from your mistakes, relapsing over and over again, it gets to a point where you're either going to give your all or become like the majority of the masses. And you don't even want to do the second option. You don't want to become like everybody else, majority of the masses that don't give a fuck about, you feel me, they bloodline, don't give a fuck about their own temple, don't give a fuck about breaking generational curses, 333, appreciate ancestors, don't give a fuck about constantly loving themselves and constantly loving others in the planet, don't give a fuck about making sure that if they become a father one day, that they kids, especially they little guys, they little kings, don't have to, or they avoid running into roadblocks when it comes to conquering their lust, because they have you to go to. They have you for information. They have you for, discernment information. They have you for great legendary advice. They have you for guidance. They have you to look up to as an example of what every guy should be, living in a natural state. Every guy is unique, but living in a natural state is mandatory. 444. It's mandatory, you know what I'm saying? It's mandatory to build a foundation. It's mandatory to have a healthy life. It's mandatory to manifest. You feel me? It's mandatory for a bunch of things, you know what I'm saying? It's mandatory for cosmic love. It's mandatory to, like I said, if you want to cosmically love somebody, how do you cosmically love yourself? You know what I'm saying? The best decision, if you really love somebody, if you really cosmically love somebody, the best decision to make is to cosmically love yourself. You know what I'm saying? No matter how hard you go out into the external and try to do things externally, that will never compare. There's no comparison to how much you go within, to how much you really put all that love you have into yourself. You know what I'm saying? Into your mindset, into your health, into your perception of reality, into your long-term thinking, examples and perception and things like that. For example, I brought up the father analogy. If you're meant to have kids, you feel me? Having kids, it's a beautiful thing. It's even more blissful knowing that you are equipped with powerful, legendary as a vice, aura, guidance, wisdom, to push down to your kids and for their kids and generations forever, because you started with going in within yourself first. You started to make the change for yourself in a big ass way. You ain't just try to make the change by just chasing females, chasing money, chasing materialistic stuff. You know what I'm saying? Those things are beautiful, in their own ways. You feel me? Like you meant to live a prosperous, luxurious life, bro. You feel me? Manifest that in your reality, but do it in a way where it's righteous. Do it in a way where you understand energy, where you know that everything is energy. You know what I'm saying? And you increase your aura, increase your magnetism. You feel me? Increase your soul and your spirit to acquire the right things, to acquire these things, the right ones, because it's hella houses out there. It's hella ways to make money. It's hella females. It's hella, shoes. It's hella clothes. It's hella opportunities. It's hella ways to people that help you with things. You know what I'm saying? But you want to attract the right ones. It's like it's like a cheat code. You know what I'm saying? It's like you could open up your laptop and you could choose which ones, which people, which things, which places, which environments that is right for your journey. You know what I'm saying? That fits and connects like a fucking puzzle for you. You know what I'm saying? It's hella pieces to a puzzle, but which ones of the pieces fits? You can't just pick any piece and put that motherfucker in there just because it's an open void. It's a hole right there, something to fit in there. You feel me? But it's a missing spot, but you got all 1,000 pieces and you picking whatever the fuck you want to pick just to put in there, just to fill that void, but that's not the right piece. So that shit would never fit. It would never manifest to what it's supposed to be. It would never, you feel me, help you in the ways it's supposed to help you. It won't do shit in most cases. You pick the right piece, you manifest that, you figure out which ways to, how to go about things, and it's the right piece, and that motherfucker fit. Right. It fit, connects. And then it gets more powerful, and then more pieces connect, and it's a snowball effect. For example, a lot of guys, even females, you know what I'm saying, they go out there looking for love. They go out there having a lot of intercourse. You know what I'm saying? Especially when they just had a breakup or some shit, and they go out there looking for all that shit externally, and they're trying to pick the piece. They're trying to fill this fucking void, you know what I'm saying, with going external, which with doing things that's outside themselves. So when they pick a piece of their puzzle, they pick any random piece, a random guy, a random girl, and then they have sex with them and shit. You know what I'm saying? It definitely fits, but does it connect? No. You know what I'm saying? Now take the same person after a breakup or whatever they're going through, a tough situation, and they decide to go within. They know they got low self-esteem. They got lack of knowledge, or they got they have self-doubt, depression, anxiety, lack of self-love, lack of self-knowing, or anything of that nature. And instead of going, external, they go within. You feel me? And They start to cosmically love themselves, and they start to, the things that they desire, they start to giving that shit to themselves. They start giving all those things to themselves. And soon, the first decision that they do, the first self-love decision, boom, they pick up a piece, and it fucking connects. The first self-love, whatever that may be, meditation, you know what I'm saying, semen retention, you feel me? Instead of wasting your seed out there trying to find some type of pleasure, some type of dopamine hit, and you fucking all these bitches, and after you relapse, you know it was never worth it. And instead, now you hold in your seed. You feel me? Now you start to realize new shit. Now you start to look at life from a different lens, a different perspective. Now you start to love the fuck out yourself. Now you starting to love others properly. Now you starting to see the light within others. Now you starting to help the world. Now you starting to inspire the world. And look what it's doing. You feel me? It's still the same piece. You just now it's just molding into who you was always meant to become. Now it's just making things way better. You know what I'm saying? And you constantly keep on doing that, repeating that, and adding on to that. You feel me? And it doesn't lead to a hole of misery. It doesn't lead to a ditch or a fucking pitfall or something. It doesn't lead to just something always, a feeling of something always missing. It doesn't lead to questioning yourself of who you always are, who you will continue to be, and who you're meant to be, and who you always was. There's no question into that. There's no question into, you feel me, you know, what you believe in spiritually, you know what I'm saying? There's no more self-doubt. There's no more low self-esteem. There's no more, you know, looking for validation outside of yourself. Now you self-validated. You feel me? You're self-validated. Now you don't need, keyword need, you don't need shit outside of yourself. Everything that you think you need, you put that shit into yourself. You know what I'm saying? Put that shit, you grab that piece, you pick up another piece of the puzzle. Now you want to, you know, pour into, you know, self-validation. You get off social media or however that looks for you. You stop comparing yourself to other people. Look what you're doing. Now that's another piece that fucking fit. You feel me? Now it's a bigger piece that fit. And then you put that shit inside yourself. And then now you just realize and you start looking at the world even more differently now in the righteous way. And you move, you know, you just move better. And it's a beautiful thing. And it's a lifetime. It's like I said, you living in your natural state. It's a lifetime. You know what I'm saying? Embrace your masculinity. Embrace that you love, cosmically love females, of course. You know what I'm saying? Do not go against your nature. Realize when it's exploited. Realize when it's not cosmic love. When it's other things like lust and, you know, using her, or even shit, witchcraft, or even like evil shit. Like realize when they get to that point, you know, and not every thought is yours. It's still spiritual warfare going on. So the enemy wants us to be fucking as weak as possible. The enemy wants us to live like majority of the masses. The enemy wants you to not be great, you to not live up to your potential, you to not live and conquer your I'm not conquer, but cure your generational curses, break the curses, and, you know, have a healthy path, open and welcoming path for the next generation, just off of you going within, just off of you, you know, thinking about your bloodline, thinking about your kids, thinking about the generation that's going to come after you. It gets deep. It gets so deep. You know what I'm saying? I'll go even deeper, but I'm going to keep it right there. So I end this conversation with the same way I opened it, with cosmic love, peace, inner strength, value your inner strength over lustful desires, to be exact, gratitude and abundance. And y'all stay on the streak, stay on course, continue to focus on your purpose, continue to build, continue to pour into self-love, continue to stay on the street, continue to live in your natural state daily. Stay away from turning back and connecting with your unnatural state. Stay away from entertaining unnatural thoughts. Stay away from relapsing. And continue to be the person that you always was meant to be. Leave y'all with that.